Hello, my name is Kimberly, and this is my channel, The Amazing Kimeth. Today, we are going over the book Grimm Prayers by Wiktor Miesok. I am going to go over the book quickly, trying to not have any spoilers in it, and then just a quick review of my thoughts. So let's get into this book. And of course, I have down in the description below links where you can grab this book for yourself. This book starts off right where the first one left off. If you don't remember much about the first book, I have a link to a video of the first book so you can quickly recap. However, this book does do a really good job of bringing the reader back up to speed if it's been a while since they've read the previous book. But long story short, Andre got himself into a pickle. He owes Pilot money. So right now he starts off the book with a mission. He's got a knife in his hand and he's got a target he's got to take out in order to pay back his debts that he owes to Pilot. Andre has joined the guys in Barrack 6 and he's on his way to being a full-fledged Voroy, which is a criminal for life in the Russian penal system. We learn about how the Voroy work and how they exist within the penal colony system. And after some altercations with the guards, Andre finds himself in isolation for 1 month. Yevgeny and his wife and daughter come to visit, and the rules within the prison system is that only one visitor for one inmate. So Yevgeny asks Andre, hey, can you sit in and you visit my daughter while I visit my wife, and then halfway we'll switch and we'll do it so the guards don't know. That way he can speak to both his wife and his daughter. And the wife, Matryona, we find out she's pretty solid herself and she agrees to help smuggle in food and herbs to Yevgeny and Andre. In the first book, there was a character, Svihi, who lost his hand. He comes back. Andre is the guy that helps beat up people and collect things when Sihi comes and he's like, hey, you owe me money, you owe me goods for whatever services, so pay up. Andre is there to beat the snot out of them or rough them up so that they can actually pay up. A man falsely accuses another of stealing, and we see just how deeply this affects the other prisoners, and we can see how serious of a crime this is seen as by the equals. And some of the herbs that are being smuggled in by Yevgeny's wife, they are used as tinctures, and Andre uses them to get better when he comes out of isolation, and he uses it as a system to show the regular guys that aren't in a gang just the camaraderie of, like, they come and getting them healthy when they have colds, when they have different sicknesses and stuff like that. And he tries to sell this. He does have difficulty with it because the guys just want drugs. They just want alcohol. They just want food. They don't want herbal medicine. But slowly, as Andre is giving these guys this tincture for free just to help them get better, they realize that there is something of worth, there is something of value in this. There is a little bit of a time jump where Andre goes, well, I've been here for 3 years. And with that, he does describe that the penal colony that he's in and the guys in Barrack 6 and how things change, how things evolve, and then seeing new kids come in, even though they're just a little younger than Andre. Andre's seen as kind of a seasoned guy, and he sees newcomers as these young bucks, these kids. And it's really interesting how just 3 years in prison completely changed him, and it's not necessarily for the better. And even after these 3 years, Pilot and his gang, they're still making trouble. They're still trying to change things up. They're still trying to just cause more mayhem. Yevgeny, he confides in Andre and he's like, I got 5 more years, but I know I'm not going to make it in here. I need to leave. And that sets some things in motion. However, a handful of people find out, including the cook, Artyom, and there are some stipulations that are put into place, and the guys decide to break out of prison. It is a whole adventure in and of itself. However, it does show heartbreak, it does show perseverance, it does show betrayal, and it is a wonderful part. So from here on out, I'm going to be discussing the third act of the book. I feel that discussing it kind of feels like spoilers for what I've discussed so far. So you can decide to turn off the video now. Again, I have down in the description links for you to grab this book to get to reading. If you do, thank you for watching so far. If you want to find out a little more of what happens, let's keep going. After the guys actually successfully escape the prison, they end up going on their own little adventure. Andre realizes that his own thoughts are rather dark, that prison has changed something in him that's not been for the good. And he's trying to see how he's going to be able to fit in society now, and what he's going to do, how he's going to kind of weave, and how he's going to integrate, if he can at all. And this book kind of becomes a little more introspective at this point. Andre meets a man who is a shaman, and Andre has to go into a banya, which is like a bathhouse, kind of like a sauna, to be purified in order to be allowed into the shaman's home. The shaman gives a lot of good words of wisdom and a lot of insight to Andre. Andre kind of wants to just slough it off and ignore it, but the shaman's like, you need to listen. This is what's going on, and this is what's going to happen. This is the path that you are currently on, and you can make a difference. You can change it. Heed my words. And the shaman, of course, is able to hook Andre up with a different passport. However, Andre has to pay, and payment isn't just currency. It's helping this man log a forested area, but that's what Andre's been doing in the penal colony for the last 3 years, so he's got experience. And of course, there's some hiccups with this project. And after the logging operation, Andre heads to the train station because he's heading to Moscow. And that's where I'm going to end the synopsis of the book. This book reads similarly to the first. It has the same kind of pacing, the same feel. It is a little more introspective, which I did appreciate. Andre is still rather young and arrogant in this book, but you can see where he kind of takes a step back and thinks about the here and now versus where he was just 3 years before when he entered this prison system. And it is cool seeing that introspection and seeing him just reflect on where he was and where he is currently. And just seeing himself and seeing how he's changed and how free life affects him once he gets out of prison. I do recommend giving it a read if you have the chance. So, have you read Grim Prayers by Wiktor Miesok? What did you think about it? And as always, what should I read next?